was a wonderful day as always. The birds were chirping as the wind blew softly, leaving behind a wonderful melody to the people's ears. Joyful singing can also be heard, the children playing around. Everyone in the village was minding their own business. One was busy sweeping dried leaves off their lawn, and one was trying to figure out how to make their crops more bountiful. Masuri smiled as she sat down to admire the chilly air that day. The bright sunlight bent directly to her face, exposing her angel-like features to the public eye. She turns heads everywhere she goes as one simply cannot deny Masuri's presence. She rested her hands on her stomach, letting another breeze pass through her body. Her scarf lay hanging loosely over her head. Footsteps can be heard coming from behind.
You seem to be enjoying the wind today. Is the cold weather to your liking, my
The
dear?
courageous warrior spoke as he took a seat beside his wife, grinning ear to ear. The corner of Masuri's lip curled up in a soft smile.
I couldn't help but say content today, my love. I was waiting for you. I have something to tell you. I am with a child.
You're with a child? Our child?
Yes, I'm carrying our future, our legacy. Don't you feel excited by this news?
My beloved, I couldn't be more happier. This is all I could ever ask for. Having you and now a child by my side, I'm happy, dear.
Then it's settled. So we're having a full family.
Of course we are.
But darling, you have to leave.
Wanderers couldn't bring himself to look at his wife. If he managed another glance at her, his heart might shatter again. He may be a warrior, but his heart is fragile. In this case, Masuri is his heart.
Answer me, please!
My responsibility. Our village needs me. They need all the help they can get. You cannot be selfish, Masuri.
I understand that it's your duty. But remember, you're also a father, Daruz. What if our child, if you...
Don't you finish that sentence. I was a warrior before I was your husband, Masuri. Remember that.
I know that. Can a wife be worried about her husband going to a war? I am miserable as everybody else. Tell me, Daruz. Can I not be worried? Am I unable to care for you? For our future? For our child?
There was a long pause in the house. The tension became so thick, even the world's sharpest knife couldn't cut through it. It was unbearable, the feeling it is. Once the news hit Masuri, she couldn't help but wonder why. How is she supposed to survive without her dear husband? She clenched the hem of her scarf, cheeks wet from the water seeping out of her eyes. Wanderer sighed and finally mustered up the courage to look at her, feeling bad for raising his voice.
Nothing will happen to me. I can promise you that. Do you not trust your dear husband? You know how capable I am.
Fine. I trust the judgment then. You are strong.
Even stronger when I'm with you.
It has been 2 full moons since Wanderer's departure. Our Langkawi princess couldn't help to always worry about her husband. Ever since he left, it felt like her heart was torn into two. The other half of her was with him, and that alone was enough for Masuri to shed tears every night. She caressed her stomach, eyes wandering up into the distance. As she was about to rest inside, she heard a wonderful voice. It came from a man sitting under a tree not far from her house. Children and old folks surrounding him. He does not look like a native, and yet the villagers seems to like him. He carried the boy with him as he continued to entertain others around him. Masuri found it intriguing, especially the way he uses his words.
What do you think of love? Tell me how one can be full of doubt when one could be filled with love instead. Then again, how could one heart which carries such burdened soul bear a thing so raw, so full of feelings, so strong and powerful? Tell me how does one stop hovering eerie doubt when it eats one's skin every fortnight, slowly and slowly, until one's bones are bare? Tell me, oh, so beloved, how?
The people clapped in awe, leaving the man smiling shyly. Many praises struck him, and yet he stayed humble.
How astonishing! I've never heard anything so profound before. It resonated within my soul. How wonderful! Writing must be his passion then. How sweet.
Feeling left out and mostly curious, Masuri decided to join the conversation. Apparently so, the gentleman is indeed a traveler and not a local. He refers to himself as a poet, despite his name being Dramang. Her parents immediately took a liking to him and offered him to stay with them. He was a bit reluctant to agree at first, but Masuri, being interested in his writings, also saw this as an opportunity to learn how to write poems like him and reassured him, saying it's amazing to have a new friend around. He agreed and promised to teach everyone about poetry and jingles. Masuri figured maybe this will ease her worries for Wanderers. However, there's someone hiding in the shadows, gritting their teeth out of jealousy. There's no one as bitter as Masuri's sister-in-law, Wan Mahura. She couldn't stand seeing other people better than her. And since Masuri is always one step ahead of her, she has always resented the other. Ever since Masuri married Wanderus, who is her husband, Dato Pekerja Maya's brother, Wan Mahura felt like everything was a competition. Yet, no matter how hard she tries, the people will always end up loving Masuri, especially since the handsome traveler arrived.
Oh, looks like everyone flocking over their house again. How cruel! Do these people not have houses? Even jobs? Why even bother being here?
Let them be, dear. I also found the poet writing is quite enjoyable. You should hear them sometime.
Not interested. And isn't he overstaying his welcome? It's been months since he arrived here. Surely he will find a much more suitable place to stay now.
Who knows? Pandak Maya and Cik Alang are fine with it. Even Masur had no problem. In fact, they are both getting along fine. You need not worry.
But still, the Ramang is unwed. Masuri is wed, but her husband is away. And isn't she your child? It's innocent, darling.
What are you getting at, Mahura? You can just simply throw accusation around.
I know what I saw, and soon you will see.
The news of Masuri giving birth to a baby boy shook Langkawi. Everyone was happy to see the child so healthy. Villagers were congratulating her left and right, and many gifts were given. They called the boy a blessing with the name Wan Hakim. It was joyful indeed. Unless you are a bitter hater like Wan Mahura, then it is definitely not joyful. She clenched her fist in anger. Seeing Masuri happy filled her with rage, and she confronted her husband about what she saw, allegedly. The Ramang and Masuri were seen sitting close together. Adding fuel to the fire, she added that only two of them were present at home that time. Dato Pekerja Maya turned to face Wan Mahura in order to hear her fully. He was also starting to grow suspicious of Masuri and the Ramang's relationship.
Are you sure about this, Mahura? Tell me, what else did you see? And tell me, what else did they do?
It's true, dear. I saw it with my own eyes. The way they smile and the way they look at each other. They are basically mocking us.
How dare they commit a sin in our beloved land? Outrageous!
Seeing her husband all fired up made Wan Mahura want to push his buttons even further. Internally, she grinned. At last, she can finally get rid of Masuri. Wiping her fake tears, she sorrowfully looked
And
away.
the saddest thing is, the child isn't even hers and Wanderus. The Ramang is the real father.
It was a girl's child after all? Oh God, how dare she?
That right, she will embrace my brother and stain our family name. Unbelievable. We cannot let them get away with such crimes.
What shall we do, dear husband? The child is already born, without a single clue of the world. Oh, how can he be raised in a place of full of lies? You must do something before wanderers come back.
We'll handle this. No brother of mine shall be allowed to be embraced like this. Masra and Rama will pay for what they did.
And Wan Mahura smiled, not knowing what will bestow upon them soon.
Stop! No! No!
Masuri cried out as she watched the villagers gather around her. Ramang was also taken away, but he won't back down easily.
No, you can't be doing this. I did nothing wrong. You're all being fooled.
Save your life for another time, woman. Do you know how humiliating it is for us? For your husband specifically. Don't you do such a thing to Terus? He loves you.
I swear I never do such a thing with Rama. There is only one place in my heart and it's belongs to the rules. I could never imagine giving that spot to someone else other than him. Wanderers is my other half and our child is a proof of our commitment.
Guys, again, if you truly love Wanderers, you wouldn't even dare be so close with another man. Especially living under the same roof. How shameful!
You don't understand!
The people were mad, disappointed, upset. They have truly lost their respect for Masuri. They booed her and threw her sticks and stones. Masuri clenched her jaw in pain, despite the spear failing to fully injure her. She rolled, looking at Datuk Majaya straight in the eye.
You can kill me with mere spear, fool! Only courage from my family crest can take my life.
Silence, Sina. Langkawi is better off without you. Mahura, go get the trash she mentioned.
Wan Mahura obliged gleefully, intruding Pandak Maya's home in order to find the said keris. Everyone else continued to stone Masuri. After finding it, she eagerly handed it to her husband.
This is when you will die, Masri. It is a shame. You are respectable.
Say what you want about me, but I never forgive you people for what you did to me. Never!
Datuk Majaya stabbed her again with the heirloom keris, despite Masuri's parents' attempt to stop him. The keris went deep into her stomach, causing white blood to pour out of her. The villagers panicked. Masuri's eyes stayed still and continued to laugh at them with her last dying breath.
I'll never forgive you guys. I do not consent, not even a single drop of my blood to touch Langkawi soil. I resent all of you guys because of believing all of these lies and slandering me. You all took my happiness and I shall rip away yours. I curse Langkawi to be never be prosper and never be at peace. For 7 generations, you all should suffer like I do.
Her last word echoed throughout the land, as people were confused and scared of what just happened. There was nothing reasonable to explain what the white blood was. Drama tried to get revenge, but was unfortunately killed the same way. Not wanting to do anything with their bodies, Dato' Pungmajaya and Wan Mahura, along with the villagers, left it for Pandak Maya to handle. Anguished, Masuri's parents decided to bury her body next to her inheritance. The only thing Masuri had left her parents with was her child, her future, her legacy, her proof of love for Wanderers, her son, Wan Hakim.
Wan Mahura dengan
Datuk Pekan Jaya.
Dia ni pun muka apa ni je mana?
Dah, tulis skrip. Nak buat ke?
Penat.
Sebab tengah cast tu pun macam dah tengah ramai ni.
Hari ni dah director masak nasi lemak. Hari
Dah
ni
shoot
dah
lagi ke
director stylish
sekarang?
orang. Hari ni director function sebab director tak nak gamon.
Kan?
Kita nak stress, kita independent.
Tak payah kan?
Tak ideal.
Sekarang ni benda apa yang aku kena
Datuk dengan Datin kahwin paksa ke dua-dua?
Atau main keluarga.
Tak bahagia macam Masuri dengan Wader Rose pun.
sebab
Patut dia dengki. Yelah patut dah makan. Kata kena buatan. Not interested. Assalamualaikum.
Suri okey Masuri. Masuri reda. Tengah rating Hairi.
Biar halal.
Hairi tak break.